So the Help Center is located inside the application, and I will be showing you that as soon as we get into the app. But you have a user guide for those who would like to read to learn, video library access for those who are very visual learners, that's me for sure. Then you have tech support numbers and access to Mastermind webinar recordings. And this is what we're going to be going over today. So we have how to add a new contact, how to do a simple import, go over a couple of different ways to view your list, different ways to search for a contact, different ways to save, or a way to save a search, but then also putting it on your dashboard. And then how to add a tag to a contact a couple of different ways, and then taking a look at the contact record in detail. So if you haven't figured this out already, Infusionsoft has a mobile application. It also has something called Snap by Infusionsoft that now lives inside of Infusionsoft Mobile. So let me show you what that looks like. Snap is kind of a fun tool. It is really good for those who are business card heavy networkers. So you go to a networking meeting, you get a pocket full of business cards, and you don't want to even type them in. All you have to do with this is download it on your phone, on your smartphone. Then you're going to go to the app, take a picture of the business card, as you can see in the second photo here, or second little section. Take a picture of the business card. It goes off to Never Never Land for transcribing. And then it comes back to you and says, hey, take a peek at this. And it looks like we are having a screen problem. Sorry about that. How's that, everybody? Oh, so sorry. Let me back up here. You're going to get this in the recording anyway, so I'm so sorry about that. I had turned on the broadcast, but just didn't turn on my screen. So here's the user area. We're going to go into the application, and I'll show you that. Then this is what we're going to go over today. I'm sure you heard me say it anyway. Then you have Infusionsoft.com mobile, which then Snap by Infusionsoft now lives inside of that. It's going to be in your Google Store or in your Apple. So you take the picture, you wait for transcribing, and then it comes back to you in a notification saying, hey, your business card has been prepared. What do you want to do with it? And at that time, you can tag that individual contact and then send them into a networking follow-up campaign. So tags, let's talk about that for a moment. Infusionsoft is a lot different than MailChimp or Constant Contact or any of the other email senders. We have one big list that you have to organize by certain names or tags. So in MailChimp or some other excuse me, email sender, you have maybe 20 different lists that you might be using or working from. And I might be on 5 of those lists. I might be a prospect, I might be interested in the events, I might want to be on your newsletter list. And so I might be on 5 or 6 of those specific lists you have in your email sender. Well, in Infusionsoft, it's kind of the other way around. It's kind of backwards. We have one big pile of people, but every person needs to have a name on them or several names of what list they're involved in, and we call those tags. So tags are a way we segment our list, a way to organize our groups, a way to keep track of certain behaviors, and then by applying a tag to a contact or a group of contacts, you can start them in a campaign or stop them. So here's some more examples. You have a prospect and a customer and a dog lover and a cat lover. Or look at the other side of things in a behavior type of sense where you say requested a call, attended an event. It's what they've done. So we are following them and naming them as per their actions. So they come into our campaign or come into Infusionsoft as a prospect, but then they clicked on something that they opened a document or clicked on a video, and then they're going to, we could actually send them into different directions by those actions and also follow their history. So a tag is applied or removed when you do an import on individual contact records to an entire group using the Snap app, and then automatically in a campaign or automatically in an email link. So by the time that we're done today, this is what I'd like you to be able to try on your own. So I would like you to add a couple of contacts, install Snap on your phone if you'd like to use that. Get your mobile app as well if you have the desire for that. Those are both free. The Snap app, you can snap 200, I haven't looked at the number lately, but it used to be 250 business cards per month per user in Infusionsoft. So if you have 5 users available, then you can snap up to that amount of business cards. And then add a tag to a contact record, do a small import on your own, and then search based on certain tags. And then, of course, make Infusionsoft yours. It's your baby. It's you get to get in there and get your hands dirty and start playing with it. So let's get the app open here. And this is my application. I use it for a couple of different things. I was the reunion coordinator for my high school. We just had a reunion just recently. So I have a lot of searches and things in here. And then I also send out Santa letters. So you'll see a couple of different examples in here. So you obviously know where the basic training is because you're here in this webinar. So let's go up to the little navigation bar. You've got your customization of the navigation. So you can click on edit here and pull over any of these different pieces that you want to be putting in your favorites and then click on done. So what we're going to be playing with this whole time is just in the CRM section. So if you are an admin user, you will have reports and settings. A lot of times if you are just a regular user, you won't see these tabs down here. So don't worry about that. So we're going to go in and add a contact, just a manual addition. So we're going to go to contacts here and then hover again over contacts to add a contact. And this is the standard add contact form. It allows us to put a lot of information about that person in here. Anything from first name, last name, company, job title, etc. Social information, time zone information. Secondary addresses, additional information, birthdays, spouses' names, person notes, and this is a kind of a pile of notes that you might want to put in. So it would be something that this is your relationship building notes, not your everyday action notes. So this type of note is not searchable. It is not date stamped or anything like that. So it's just a pile of information that you might need to know when you get on the phone next time to speak with that person or help the next person that takes over that client to know. Now in yours, you're going to have something called custom fields as a tab up on the very top. And that would be something that you can customize like I did. So I have Santa letters. I have a survey consultation or a consultant survey. I have a class reunion tab. So you can change these and you can have 100 custom fields for the contact record. Not per contact, but for in the contact record area. So let's go back to the general. Let's add somebody here. Daisy Duck. So I'm adding Daisy, and the minute I put that little @ sign in there, something pops up and says, hey, I recognize it's an email address, and then it's going to ask you, do you have permission to send marketing to this address? And if you do not say yes, then it's not going to allow you to market to Daisy. It will allow you to send a single email to them out of the personal account, but it's not going to allow you to put it into a broadcast email or into a campaign. So Daisy gave me express permission by telling me, hey, nice to meet you. I would love to be part of your newsletter. So I'm going to opt her in here and save. Now, I use Daisy as an example in other areas, and so it's kind of showing me that I've got a duplicate possibility here. So we can add her as a new person with the exact same information, or we can use this person. So it's recognizing duplicates. So that's one way to add a contact. Remember, that was contact, and then hovering over contacts to add a contact. And that again takes us to our standard form. But we might have a form that we've created, an internal form for just this. Maybe there are specific questions that you want to that you need answered before that contact becomes a real contact in Infusionsoft. So here is an example of that. Maybe I'm only needing first name, email, phone, appointment range, and assigned to. Or, and this is just for fun, I know that looks kind of silly, good-looking guy or not so good-looking guy. It was just an example. Excuse me. Then I have a master form that was for an example. So this is an intake form. Has a lot of information that's very critical to responding to that customer. And I created this for an internal type situation. So when people get on the phone, they call and say, hey, I'd like to get service, then your phone rep needs to take all of this information down to make it a viable customer for you to put into Infusionsoft. So you have the regular standard edition form here. You have whatever other forms that you would like to add, or you've got just a short one here. Just an add a contact with this little plus sign. First name, last name, email, and save. And the minute again I put that email address in there, that little yellow box will show up. So again, Chalice told me that she wants to have wants to be part of my marketing. So I can put that in there. Now let's go look at Chalice's record. I can click on that link and it takes me straight to the full size record. Now you recognize that this looks like that standard ad form that we just got through. Has the general tab, the addresses, additional information, person notes, and then all the different custom field tabs up here. And then below this little save bar here, we have what we're doing with the customer. So above the green save button is all about them. It's all their contact information. And below the save bar is what we're going to do with them. So let's move on to how to do a simple import, and we'll get into the contact record later on. So we have added a contact 3 different ways. Now let's go add them through the import. We're going to hover and go all the way over to admin to import data. And you guys can ask questions at any time. So I have a keen eye on that little question box, so just don't hesitate. If I'm talking too fast or if you're having a hard time understanding something, so just let me know. So what we're doing here is we're going to go look to find that file that we need to add. So this is where I'm going to show you my little sample file that I have. So in here, pick what you would like to import and click on Go. So I want to import contacts. So I'm going to click on Go. And this is going to take me to watch a video about importing contacts if I want to, or downloading a sample file for my importing contacts. And this is what I've got right here. So I've got first name, last name, company, lead source, job title, contact notes, and this is an important part here. So I met John at the winter conference. I met Minnie through Mickey, and I just put in the contact notes that I think that she's the best character. And Thomas the train is the best train. So these are all just your specific notes about that specific person, not what we're doing with them. Now, this field here is called tags. So tags are, remember the name that we have on people. So their last names, basically. So John is a prospect, a newsletter, and an event attendee. And if you notice that you've got a comma in between those 3 items, and by putting a comma there, it's going to create that tag upon import. So Minnie is a mouse, comma, newsletter, comma, Disney, female, and blue eyes. So cartoon and children's channel. So there's that comma is going to allow you to put multiple things in this field, and it creates the tags upon import, which takes so much less time for you. Then you just have the other regular fields in here. So if you need a template to go by, you're welcome to download that file and use it. You may only have a first name and an email address, and that's okay too. So let's browse for that file. And open. Click on Next. And it's noticing my fields on the left and Infusionsoft fields on the right. So it says first name, last name, all of those those headers, and it's trying to match everything over here on the right-hand side, but you might have something that looks like this. You might come across something that says, hey, no match, pick an Infusionsoft field. So what you just do is click on the drop-down and go find that first name. And lead source, click on the drop-down and see if you can find a lead source or something similar that might match that field. Now we get down to contact notes here. And contact notes, remember this is just the pile of notes, it's not a searchable note. And then tags. Tags are create tags from your field values. Remember the newsletter, comma, event attendee, comma, all of those things. Then you have different address mapping as well. So you have city, and here's the city, but this is our billing address. And so the very first address on the front of the contact record is always our billing address. That's what the credit card will always go off of, is that very first email, or the very first address. So let's click on Next. We've matched everything. And it's just noticing my United States, Infusionsoft United States, is that the right thing? Yes. And then this is an important question. Do you plan on sending email marketing to these contacts? And some people will just import the names into Infusionsoft knowing that You can't email them because they haven't given you permission, but you're going to call them. And that's okay too. If you want to, you can just say no. You're not going to be able to email them other than one-off emails. If it's a compliant list, then you're going to fill out how these people came to you. So these people in my list came to my website. They have purchased a product from me, but that does not consider that to be a viable contact just because they purchased something from me. They didn't say, hey, I'm going to buy this ball from you, now put me on your marketing emails. What they have to do is buy that ball and then opt in for that marketing information. And then you have some that have attended an event. I was given an attendee list. Now, this does not allow you to send emails directly to the people that have signed up because they don't know who you are. They were just given a list, or they were put on a list. And the chances for spam complaints are so high. Now, if it's this one that says they signed up at my booth, now they may be signing up at your booth, and you have to just make sure that they are getting the right information. That they are knowing full well that when they give you that email address that they're going to be marketed to and that they've signed up for that. So, which service provider have they been sending this list through? MailChimp. And what method of opt-in have you been using? Single opt-in. How long have you been emailing the list? And when, or building the list, I'm sorry, and emailing. And when was the last time that I sent that? Less than a month. And how many emails per month will these contacts be sent? 1 to 5 from that's what I like to do. And then current, this is my current list. You have to tell Infusionsoft who these people are to you. And then it's going to give you a little bit of a preview of what that looks like in the contact record. And you'll notice contact notes here, prospect, newsletter event, a newsletter event attendee, and then you can run some actions from here as well. So all of those people you have on your import list, you could actually apply, excuse me, apply or remove a tag. So let's put a name on all of these people. So here are all of my existing tags, but let's add a new one. Create a new tag. And let's use it for our April 4 list. And let's put them in our prospect bucket, prospect category, create the tag, and save. Now the minute we click on done, it's going to add this tag to all of those people that we just imported. Then we can view the list of contacts you just imported. Let's take a look at John. John, his phone number, his email address, everything came through really well. Let's look at his full contact record. So his company name, lead source, phone numbers, email address, and then his tags. So this time and date stamp is on by default. That just happens on every import. Here is the tag that I added to the entire list at the very end. Excuse me. Here is the event attendee, newsletter, and prospect that were on his in his file in that form. I mean, in the field value. Now let's look at the person notes. Met at the winter conference. This is again just my information to help me be able to take care of John better. I'm really sorry about my voice and having to clear my throat. So Minnie, let's take a peek at her. Her basic information, Mickey is the lead source, and all of her tags came over just fine. And again, April 4 list. So we added that tag to all of those people during that action. So let's go back to that search, and we're going to dig into this view for a minute. So what we did, we're going to do a search first. Let's do a new search. And we can search by first names or starts with, equals, contains, etc. So we could even do, maybe I want to look through my entire list and say who does not have an email address. So I want to say doesn't contain an @ and hit search. So I have 325 people that do not have an email address that I know that I would have to call them if I want to market to them at all. So from here, I can save this list and name it, no emails. I already have this done. And save it. And it's going to sit over here on my right-hand side in my saved searches. So from here, I can then take it and go put it on my dashboard as a saved search, and we'll do that in a minute. So let's do another search. New search. So we know that we can use our fields, but we can use tags, and this is where we would do it the most. So we have our April 4 list in our prospect category. So all I did was typed a couple of the letters in that, and it popped up. So let's search. And it's bringing you the 4 people we just imported. And then let's do a saved search here. Save. April import. Save. And again, it's showing up over here in my saved search. So this view that you're looking at right here, if I hover, is popping up these quick action buttons right here. So we have, if I hover over John, I can write a note, create a task, create an appointment, send an email, create a quote and an order, see what tags are associated with John. You can actually click on that button and it shows you all of his tags. You have internal forms, what campaigns John is associated with, opportunities, if you have opportunities in your Infusionsoft version, and then lead scoring. So this is, again, the quick action view. If you are just wanting to see a grid view, you're coming up here to the right-hand side. And we have first name, last name, phone, email, and it's a very easy way to see this. Then you can come up to actions, click on all of the people that you want to be in this search. Into the export, go to actions, and you could apply a tag to all of these people. You could export them into a CSV file to take to an event if you needed a checklist or something. Print labels, send a broadcast. Excuse me, send a broadcast to all those people. So Mark is asking, maybe you'll get to it, but how can we search by owner of the contact? So let's go to CRM. Think about where it's at. It's going to be in contacts. And let's look at general here. I have to figure out where that owner is, where it would live. So we can pull the owner here. So Mark, I'm going to have to get back with you on that because I don't want to go down a rabbit hole with that. But Mark, I will respond to you with that later. Because I know it's in here, I just haven't seen it for a while, or I haven't had that question for a long time. So again, we have the grid view that you can look at the list. It's a list view, or you can have the quick action view. You can get in here and use the buttons and actually kind of like inline editing. So now let's take those searches that we created, those saved searches, and go put them on our dashboard. So we're going to hover and find our dashboard and create some searches. So we're going to, if you can see this, I've got recent activity, email statistics, and this is just a search that I use for another piece that I'm using in Infusionsoft, but then I'm going to add a widget, and I like to use the one that says custom statistics. It's a nice way to see it. We're going to then add to dashboard. And then we're going to go find that search that we created. So it is a saved search. It is in the contact record. And let's find my April import and save. Now from here, we could rename this just to imports if we want. Can't get it in there. There we go. And save. Now I've got imports. Here's my April import. I could add another stat, or I could click on that number 4 and it takes me straight to that list of people. Then I could take action. And this brings me to Louise's question. It says, for clarity, you can add a tag after you have entered the contact and add tags for several contacts at one time. So this is the add several at one time part. So now that I have all these 4 people, I can come up to actions and apply and remove a tag. But it's noticing that I need to still pick one of those contacts, and so I can either pick all 4 of them here or just John and Minnie, and then go to actions to then apply and remove a tag. Then I can go pick an existing tag that I might have in here, Valentine list, and save. And then process action. Now, she is asking also, you can add a tag after you've entered the person as a contact. So let's go find our John. And under the little clock here, it's showing me my recent people. So back to John. Let's go into tags here to manage tags. And mine are a mess. Don't even look at that as a good example. I have a lot of tags that are in no category, and a lot of times I just use them for training for fun. So I'm a bad example there. But I am a good example in the MHS one. So this is my high school reunion one. So this is my category that contains all of my high school tags. So it keeps them nice and organized. So I want to add a tag that to John that he's bringing a guest to the reunion. My MHS contacts bringing a guest, apply this tag and save. Then let's look at the tags here. Tags here, bringing a guest. Here's my MHS contact category, and then the date that that tag was applied. Now, let's go back to that search result and go back into John here. We can also add a tag this way. Click on Tags, apply a tag. Maybe he sings alto. I know I also direct a choir, and so I have all of my contacts in here and what parts they sing. So here's a good example. John sings alto. He's bringing a guest, etc. So you also could remove them from here. And then close this little window, and you didn't even have to go into the contact record at all. Louise, did that answer that question? Perfect. All right, let's go over what we've learned. We have added a new contact a couple of different ways from our plus sign here. Then we have our contacts, contact add a new contact. And then you had the internal form that we created, or that I had. Right here. You can create a custom internal form for intake of those people, and then we imported. So we've also looked at a couple of different ways to view the list. So let's take another peek at that. Contacts. Let's do, how many people would like to come to the barbecue? We're going to do a search. This is the people that were interested in the high school, in the reunion. I sent out a survey to everybody and said, hey, let me know what kind of activities you'd like to do for the reunion. And I gave them some choices, and then I tagged that choice. And so now I can go back and say, I had 60 people that wanted to attend the barbecue, and I could save this and then do that with the other choices, and then find out what people really want to do with the reunion. So from here, again, we have that search. We have the list view and the action view. So Louise is asking, please explain the difference between a tag category and a tag. So let's go take a peek. We have the CRM here, and again, some of you may not be able to get to this part. So settings, and then tag categories and tags. So tag categories are the kind of a higher level organization. So this is where I have my MHS contacts. I have 30 tags that live inside of this category. I have 26 tags that live in the imported category. 12 in the Vista Peaks. That's my church choir. I have 29 tags that are in my coaching tags. So if I scroll down, I can see all of those. I could even look up. I can look up what is in those by going to tags. So if we go to the tag section, we can look at the category, scroll down to my MHS contacts, and here are all of my tag names. And I could go to any of these at this time. I can get rid of these by actions and delete, but it's going to give me an error saying, hey, wait a minute, so-and-so, 13 people have this tag. Do you want to get rid of it? And you can't just get rid of it right here. You have to go to the tag itself, do a search, remove it from the people, and then you can get rid of the tag. There's a safeguard against that so you don't lose people. So again, the category is the higher view of that. So it's kind of like an umbrella. And then what's inside the umbrella, what is under the umbrella, is the tag. Does that explain that a little bit better, Louise? Okay. So it just allows you to have a couple of different layers for groups. So like events. Events might be my category, but inside that category it would be Women's Conference April 2017, or whatever the detail wants to be, but it's inside my events category. The Snap app, Matt is saying, is not currently available in the App Store. If you will look inside of Infusionsoft Mobile, you will see it in there. I know that it's there. I just took a screenshot of it last week, actually, and just haven't put it inside my PowerPoint yet. So let's go look at the contact record. So we're in John's contact record, and again, we have above the save bar is all about the people, who they are, where they came from, their contact information, their social, all of their billing information, their addresses, etc., custom fields. Then let's go below now to something new. We have our tasks, scored and recent activity, follow-up sequences, campaigns, opportunities if you have that version of Infusionsoft, orders, the same thing, and a file box and web profile. So in the task section, we have tasks and appointments, completed tasks, previous appointments, notes, form submission, and then recent email history. Now, notes here are not the same as the notes above here. Person notes, remember, are relationship building. These notes down here are actionable. So I just got off the phone today and spoke to John. He wants me to call him back in 3 days. So I could either create a template that I use all the time for that type of situation, or I could just add a note. It does not need to be a template. I called him, left voicemail, or he wants me to call back. So called, wants a call back. And I could put more information in the description. I could notify my supervisor if I needed to. I could also send a blind carbon copy and save. Now if I scroll down and see that note area, there is a date stamp of it's an actionable note. It's who created the note, what the details are, and it's not a note template, but it's different than this section up here. This is, remember, it's not searchable, it's not date stamped. These are all searchable and date stamped, so they're actionable. Then we have form submission. So that would be that form upstairs that we just showed you, the assignment form master, or that test ad we were to fill out for John. It's going to autofill what it knows. And then it's going to ask, okay, lead source, phone or email. And by doing this, you're also creating, you can tag them by where they came from. So let's look at the master form. Fill out. And it's recognizing all of this information autofill, and then how did you find us? And while you've got John on the phone, you are filling all this information out because this is what you need for the service call or whatever it is. So there are several different ways you can use an internal form as an intake form or as a working form that would then create some automation after that's filled out. Then you have the recent email history as well. So you can send John an email from here, from his contact record. You can also pull in a template. So let's grab my Santa template. Submit. And this is bringing in my Santa template that I can come in and change all of the information. But I want the branding to stay. So I can just type here, and then I can go ahead and click on send. I can send an attachment with it as well. This is using the old email builder. Now tomorrow there is an email builder webinar that we're going to go over the new email builder and how to send a broadcast. So we have gone through the tasks, the appointments, notes, and form submission, and how to send an email. Then we have scored and recent activity, and if any of you have a sales team, this might be interesting to you, or if you want to follow your contacts to see what their engagement level is. This is kind of a fun thing to do. So what you're doing is just kind of gauging their engagement by lead scores. So let's go into where that lives. It's in CRM, in the settings, and we have scores on the left-hand side here. And Latoya is asking what time will the email builder, webinar be tomorrow, and it's at 10 o'clock Pacific. So what I have here are some criteria to follow. So it says if the contact tag contains the MHS survey completed, then they're going to get 5 points for completing that survey. If the contact tag contains family-friendly outdoor barbecue, if that contact contains that tag, they're going to get 3 points, etc. Now, if the contact activity contains email unsubscribe, if they've clicked on and unsubscribed to my email, I'm going to take away all of their points, or a lot of their points, because they're not interested. They don't want to hear from me. So they're going to lose their score, their flames. So now let's go take a look at some of them that have this criteria, and I'll show you. So the people that have the barbecue or the survey completed, let's go take a peek at that. CRM contacts, we're going to do a search for completed. MHS survey completed and search. So you'll see that most of them, this guy just didn't have the other stuff that the other ones did, or, oh, this is just an example. My David at Disney. So Maria has 5 flames. She filled out the survey, she's part of the barbecue or the dinner, one of those. So that's how you can gauge their interest, is by them filling out certain things and then adding points to them to create criteria or to create a lead score. So when this lead score turns to 5 or the 5 flames light up, we want to be notified, and that's where some automation can start. So in the marketing, in the campaign builder, we'll go into our test. And I've got this here already. I've pulled out this little guy, lead score achieved. And this is a goal. I double click on that goal and choose the score level that will complete this goal. So if it increases, to 5 or more flames, I want to know. I would like to know and then also take action. So then I can go to bring out a sequence here, make sure that it's connected, double click in the sequence, and I want a task for myself to reach out to them. So I would say lead score 5, and then I could merge in all their information right here, their name, email address, company, and phone, and then reach out to them and say, hey, I see that you're really interested in blah, blah, blah. What it's doing is showing you a hot lead. You draft and make this a ready task after I do it the right way. Draft, ready. And then you have to draft ready this sequence. And then you can publish that. And there's a couple of items that are not ready, but I could publish this. And then every time that lead score hits 5, I'm going to get a task in my inbox or in my day in Infusionsoft. All right, I think we've covered all of those little pieces there. Do any of you have any questions? Okay, you guys are pretty easy. Louise is asking to go over Snap. So let me pull that up here. So what Snap is going to do is you download it on your phone, you download the application on your phone, and then you can take a picture of the business card. So Mallory's business card that's just an image of that business card. Then it gets sent away to transcribing. When the transcription is done, then I'd say it's about an hour. Your business card notification comes back and it says your card for Mallory Baldness has been transcribed. So what it's doing is saying, it's done, now come look at this card and make sure that all the information got transferred properly. Then you can tag it and then send Mallory into a networking follow-up campaign. Latoya, will this info be posted anywhere? And Louise, from where? Let me see here. Can you please go over the Snap? I guess I may have said something and I missed what I said. The information is available, the Snap information is inside the Infusionsoft mobile. Matt, did you find that in there? Did you happen to find that on the Infusionsoft mobile? Okay, Matt did find it. Perfect. Yes, Louise, you have to get Infusionsoft mobile first, and then Snap is inside of that now. It used to live on its own, and that's what's a little confusing. No, it's not obvious. Thank you so much, Matt, for noting that. And I wish that I had some updated screenshots here. I'll try to do that for next week. So tomorrow's webinar, the Send Emails, is going to go over the new email builder, some design elements with that, and also how to send a broadcast. So if you would like to attend, it's 10 o'clock Pacific, and you just jump into there just like you did to get in here. And then don't forget, I don't think I mentioned the Help Center. I know I talked about it ahead of time, but we didn't go over where it's at. So the Help Center is this little guy up here, the question mark. Help Center. You also have chat with chat support here. Help Center goes straight to either written word here. You can look up a topic and go into whatever you need and get step-by-step instruction. Or you have the video library where you can watch a quick little video about that specific topic or webinars. Here's our basic training where we are now. And then tomorrow, Tuesday at 10 a.m., click there to register for tomorrow's webinar. Or you have the mastermind webinars as well. And these are pretty cool. You can sign up to be on the Thursday webinars, masterminds with Jordan, or you can watch the archives here. So this video will be transcribed, I guess that's what you call it, or formatted, I guess, in just a little bit, and then we'll send that out to you, and then you're going to get an email as well. It'll be coming from Judy. And then you can go back to the video if you need to and refresh things. And I think if you don't have any other questions, I think I covered everything I was supposed to today. Does anyone have anything else that they need? A vacation, Louise says. I know. I feel ya. Right now it's beautiful in Arizona, and I would love to be vacationing in the spring. Mark is saying, will you follow up on the owner search? Yes, I sure will. And why is it possible to put in duplicate emails? And thank you so much for your help. Okay, so why is it possible to put in duplicate emails? So a lot of times duplicate emails will have a different contact name. So you might be a separate user, and someone might opt in for something and use the same email but a different name. So you can come over here to admin and to data cleanup. We can check for duplicate contact records and then do a merge, an update. So Mark, if you want to stay on here, let's go look for that owner search. I'm going to stop the recording from here.